Now we come to a close, brothers and sisters, with our last account, which is John. So in John 18 from 28 to 40, we see a little bit more dialogue. Okay, so again, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the important bits over here. So again, we see a bit more, but here we see a bit more dialogue between Pilate and Jesus. So they led him away from Caiaphas unto the hall of judgment. Now this is where we see that they were more worried about their tradition and cultures, because when they got to the judgment hall, it was early, but they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover. So they were more worried about tradition and culture. They didn't want to go into the judgment hall. They didn't want to be defiled, because it, there are a lot of laws and a lot of rules that the Jewish nation, the rulers, the priests, the Sanhedrin, brought upon men within that period, and caused it really burdensome. Do you know what I mean? They made things more burdensome. Rather than just keeping to the 10 commandments and to the laws of Moses, they created all these other laws. Anyway, so Pilate came out unto them and said, What accusation bring ye this man? And they answered and said, If we were not a malefactor, we would not deliver to you. Then Pilate says something very wise. He says, Take ye him and judge him according to your law. The Jews therefore said unto him, It is not lawful for us to put any man to death. So they needed civil authority to put Jesus to death, because they can't do it according to their own law. You see, we're going to speak of that in a second, civil authority. So then Pilate entered into the judgment hall and asked Jesus, saying, Are you the king of the Jews? Jesus answered him, Sayest thou this of thyself, or did others tell thee of me? So here we see that the questioning where Jesus said, Thou say it, in the last 3 accounts, he says, is it coming from you, or is it because of what they said? So then Pilate says to him, Am I a Jew? Questioning, am I a Jew? I'm not a Jew. Your own people, thy own nation, and thy own priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? And Jesus answered and said, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. So Jesus asked him, So are you a king? And he says, Thou say that I am a king. To this end I was born, and for this cause I came into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. Remember, Jesus says previously, my sheep and my fold hear my voice, and they come to me. So then Pilate said to him, What is truth? And when he had said this, he went out and said to the Jews, I find no fault in him. But again, for a custom, he should release someone. And they cried out, Barabbas. They said, Away with him, and give us Barabbas. And we see over here that Barabbas was a robber. So he was a robber, he was a murderer, and he was an instigator.